We founded Carnival because we came here, a few of us, and it was cold, nowhere to do, nothing to do, not much going on. And I felt that we needed something to bring us together under one umbrella, enjoying ourselves, and deal with other political issues as well. We wanted to prove to the world that, we been always seem to be credited with the negatives. One of the things that I've always maintained, that we want to show the world that we've got some worth. And when you think that to start a carnival, which was unheard of at the time, and to start a carnival and run it for 50 successful years, we have cement our existence, our presence, and everyone know that we're not just a pack of jokers. And as I say, Carnival sometimes, with all the politics you have to deal with from day to day, it's time to let off steam and have a laugh. I'm very sentimental over my African heritage, and as you're aware that our forefathers never bought a ticket to leave Africa. They were kidnapped, dragged 4,500 miles, sold into slavery. And Carnival is a celebration of emancipation. And all of this history is very close to my heart. And I want to make sure that our forefathers did not give their yesterday for nothing. And it will be a big letdown if we didn't celebrate Carnival in the way it is being supported, so that we make sure that they, as I say, their life was not in vain. Well, I'm very pleased to see that no one believed you could have started a carnival, and to see, the university here, Beckett University, sees the time to bring such an important thing into an educational arena, which it's very, for me, prestigious. I'm very passionate about education because, as I say, we had youngsters who was marginalized, and because of the disadvantaged system they have, put a lot of effort into education. And I'll tell you what happened. A couple of years ago, in the late 80s, when you had one of the head of the university here, and we managed to build a link with him through the Commonwealth Institute. And we met, he invited me for dinner one Sunday afternoon, and we work out, and I've challenged him that you've got a lot of youngsters over there in the community who have never done anything of any worth, but they have as much brain as most of the students you have in here. And we agree that we work out a course with a technaut, an access course, and pick up some youngsters off the street and brought them in here. And once we built them to a level, they came in here and they went out with very good degree in education. There was one guy who you would have known, one of the most successful black person, I think, anywhere in England, you got to show me. Delroy Goodison Creative Print. He was thrown out of school at 16. They didn't even allow him to take an exam. And he told me he couldn't do math, he couldn't do anything. And I challenged him, and we beat him up. Ended up with an A-level maths, came in and do computer and engineering. And he was the first black person who worked for Bamboo who made the military tanks as a computing engineer. Now he's got a multi-million-pound business that he built himself from scratch. And more other people, there was another guy who was 24, never done anything, work in a warehouse. And I challenged him and got him in, got him on this access course with us, and then turned him into university. And he did computer science at up the road, Beckett Park. And I remember the head of computer science, Doug Kemp, and he came to me and said to me, Arthur, 90% of people with disability would fail. I said, well, I know he wouldn't fail. He said, why you say that? I said, because I would have both of his ass. Because one of the problems that people need, you see, education, as you're aware, Max, is a kind of a daunting thing, and most people, it's psychological. They believe university is not for me, because the whole colonial system make black people feel less valued, because the school you went to, my father is a blacksmith when I grew up, all they don't expect you to get anywhere in life. You understand what I'm saying? So those of us who understood it, we have a moral responsibility to make sure that, as Barack Obama favorite, yes, we can. And, you know, I mean, so I think we've been up to now, I mean, we had some rough time with when we were Polytechnic, but I think over the years we have done really well working with the university here to help address some of these negatives. Carnival covered 5 subjects in the national curriculum. I mean, you know, it helped me a lot because I love to learn more about my African heritage. And most of your costume, your theme, because I've been like last year when I did the Ashanti. So you will have to do the research into the whole history behind who was the Ashanti, what part of Africa, who they were. So you're doing your research into the historical part of it. Then you got to come up with a design, so you're going to the design, yeah? And then you've got a budget to work with, so you're going into costing and so on. And then you have to, you work into it and you're using different materials, so you're going into science and structures and so on. And then you work into deadline and being accurate and so on. And it's, for most of the people who involved, who came from this humble background, it gave them something to hold on to, belongings. I mean, one day, I remember we had after the Queen show, you know, sometimes we leave the costume them in the tent we used to have. And it was amazing one afternoon I walked down and I met this little, 14 years old crying his guts out. I said, what are you crying for? Somebody damaged one of the costume, and he said, that's all we've got. You know what I mean? And these are the things that, forget the guy up there, but is these people, I mean, you see it in Chaptertown and what it means to them. Carnival, one thing we had a laugh about a couple of years ago, that somebody, so-called bad boys, they behave themselves coming up to Carnival, but they don't want to be locked up. One guy gave me a joke one time, he was in prison, and these guys, there was crying, he got out. The Carnival come up and he was in prison.